Hello and what's up? And welcome to the big North High School Mustang Marching Band video for the 2021 marching season. My name is Daniel B. Eaton, Director of Bands and Orchestra at North High School. Unfortunately, we have another year of not being able to meet in person for the big meeting, so I'm really hoping this will be the last time I need to disperse information like this. But be that as it may, I'm still really excited to get to meet our prospective new members and to get to know more of next year's sophomore class this season. Let's get started. So the first thing we usually do at our meeting is reveal what the 2021 show will be. So without further ado, the 2021 field show for the Mustang Marching Band is Mythological Creatures 2.0. After speaking with the marching students from last season, we were all very disappointed that we didn't get to use this show at any competitive events or performances. So the general consensus was to use the same design concept and music from the 2020 season and apply it to the 2021 season with a few tweaks here and there. The good news is that over half of the membership should know this music pretty well, and we can really turn our attention to get the new members sorted out, and also concentrate on the visual and general effect categories for the competitive season. If you are new to the North High School Mustang Marching Band, we really pride ourselves on doing completely customized shows that are different from the norm and help us stand out in our division. This show should be no exception. I'd like to ask you to please pause the video to take a moment to read the synopsis. One of the benefits of doing completely customized shows is that we can tailor each section's part to their respective proficiency level. For example, if we have an outstanding tuba section that can really play challenging and difficult passages, we can write those parts exactly to their level of proficiency. Or if we have a really young alto sax section, for example, we can back off on the complexity if we need to. Again, these are just examples. No judgments have been made. I actually have no idea how proficient each of the sections are quite yet, so if you or your section are looking to play something crazy, please be sure to help your section reach those levels of proficiency so we can write the parts just right. With the continuing state of things in our country, we are again unable to meet with our prospective new and veteran members that are interested in our program. Please visit the link listed in the description or scan the QR code to take a quick interest survey. This form just asks for the student's name, parent's name, email address, what section you're interested in, and if applicable, which middle school you're coming from if you're an incoming freshman. This will help us to gauge how many members we're writing the show for, and hopefully address any potential balancing issues in the planning stage. We will probably make adjustments as necessary once we can finally meet again, but this just helps us get things mostly correct at this stage of the season. Alright, now down to the fine print. This page gives a detailed description of the class, the prerequisites, a description of the activity from the course catalog, homework, additional information, and so on. Please pause the video to read through this information and resume when you're ready. I do want to take a moment to mention that yes, marching band is definitely a sport. There will be numerous physical demands placed on the performers. The marching band staff and future leadership team are prepared to deliver the necessary instruction for all members to successfully achieve these demands. Please be prepared to push yourself to the max and a little beyond. The veteran members can attest to this. If you're not in shape, that's still totally okay. We ease into things to make sure it's not impossible for prospective members at the very beginning. But you have to be willing to put in the effort if we are to be successful as an organization. As long as you're willing to work, this ensemble will be one of the best experiences in your high school career. Okay, the last thing that I didn't cover is the physicals, and that's because we have a whole slide dedicated to this. Yes, all marching members need to have a physical form on file to participate. Before you get apprehensive about this, we mainly need this documentation to identify any students that have any serious physical limitations, such as a heart murmur, severe asthma, and so on. If you have anything serious, the physical just makes the instructional staff aware of this so we don't push you into something that you physically can't do. We definitely have a spot for you, even if you have some physical limitations. Remember, physical just makes us aware if you have something serious we need to be aware of and will not prevent you from participating. So now that that disclaimer is out of the way, the school has a specific 2021-2022 form for the students to fill out. The link is in the description. Bring this form with you when getting the physical done at your primary care physician, or any of the free physicals done around the valley for fall sports. Additionally, students will need to set up a profile on Register My Athlete, that link is also in the description, for the school to manage the physical paperwork and clearances. The process is a bit cumbersome at first, but the good news is that once you get it all set up, you're good for all 4 years. Returning users, even if you've forgotten your logon credentials, please do not make another profile. Please contact Mr. Eaton, that's me, at deaton@phoenixunion.org to help you. Once you're in, you should only need to upload your 21-22 physical paperwork to be good to go. If anyone has any questions on the process, please contact me to assist you. Also, many of the veteran members can help you with this process as well. Please reach out. This page describes some of the known conflicts with other North High School activities and sports. Please pause the video to read through this slide. There are only 5 rules that students must abide by in all of our programs: participate, listen, respect, rehearsal and curriculum, and practice. I've provided some detailed info about each category. Please pause the video to read through them. Each of these rules are directly connected to the student's grade for the class. They're all pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions, please email me or message me for clarification. Now on to our upcoming schedule of events. Unfortunately, we are not planning to do our normal April-May clinic night regimen that we have done in the past, and fall drumline and pit auditions will be postponed until August. However, we are hopefully planning to do most of our preseason work over the summer. I have been approved to offer re-engagement experience workshops for all students that took my classes over the 2020-2021 school year if they would like to continue playing over the summer. These are the first 2 summer workshops listed above. Space is limited for these first 2 events, so right now please pause the video, navigate to the description, and sign up using the links provided after reviewing your summer schedule. I'm not sure how many non-marching students would be interested in this, but this could be a great way to recruit some new members from different classes, and marching students can absolutely take advantage of these workshops to kickstart the marching season as well. These days will be aimed at getting everyone an instrument and playing again. I would like to ask that you please set aside all of these dates so you're aware that work is happening on campus and that you should be practicing the material on your own if you don't make it into the workshops themselves. The best way to keep in touch on current events, new revised music, updated MP3s to practice along to, etc., is our social media page, NHS Mustang Band Orchestra on Facebook. The link is in the description. Look for the sweet North High School Band Mustang logo as the profile pic. An example is provided in the lower right-hand corner of this slide. If you see that picture, that's us. Finally, the third event is specifically for Mustang Marching Band students and not open to just anyone from the 2020-2021 classes. There is no minimum or maximum restrictions on this, and you do not need to sign up for it. Everyone should plan to be there that week. Please email or message me if you have any questions. This slide just gives more detailed information about what happens at the summer camps and a little information about marching shoes. I'll discuss this in more detail in a few slides, but please pause the video to skim through this information. All right, let's talk about the updated 2021-2022 bell schedule. Are you confused? Don't worry. I think everyone will be confused by looking at this for the first time. Also, before you read into this too much for 0-hour marching band, it specifically states in the course description that this class may have extended hours to accommodate the rigorous performance demands. We will not be abiding by the displayed times in the official schedule, and I'll explain how our specific rehearsal schedule will work in a few slides. Back to the official schedule. One of my colleagues made a much cleaner version that has everything in order and in a grid. Please take a few seconds to pause the video and review this updated bell schedule. So now that you've reviewed it, you can hopefully decipher that Mondays will be like an old, normal, regular school day with every period happening throughout the day. However, Tuesday through Friday is a totally different story. These days are an alternating A-B block where half of the periods happen on Tuesday, Thursday, and the other half of the periods happen Wednesday, Friday, and all happening for longer blocks of time. Fortunately for marching band, we get to have 0 hour every day. Again, if you're getting lightheaded looking at the schedule for periods 1 through 13, the feeling is mutual. I'm sure our administration will provide a lot of training and instructional videos on how this will work, but for the purposes of 0-hour marching band, it doesn't actually change things too much for us. Alright, now we're on to our updated rehearsal schedule for the 2021 season. For many of our veteran members, you will see a major, change from previous years. A 6:30 a.m. start time. Woohoo! Yes, 30 minutes of extra sleep. What's up? For our incoming and new members, we used to start at 6 a.m., but I think we can make our season work with a 6:30 a.m. start time for rehearsals. Some new members may still be in shock for how, early this is, but remember, it's a lot nicer at 6:30 a.m. than it is at 4 p.m. in the summer, in August, in Arizona. Additionally, this allows students to participate in other activities after school if they wish, as long as it doesn't directly conflict with Monday after-school rehearsals. And even if it does, we might be able to work around that. Please see me if this applies to you. Mondays are the only afternoon rehearsal that we do, and yes, it is required. We get a lot of stuff done during this 2.5-hour block, and before you ask, no, we don't spend this block outside because it's usually 1 billion degrees outside. This may change as the season goes on and the temperatures go down, but the afternoon block is usually spent refining the musical portion of our program indoors. We usually start in small sections, then combine for the last 90 minutes or so. The other question that I'm sure everyone is asking, even our veterans, what the heck is up with Mondays? Our district specifically sets time aside for teachers to meet and discuss curriculum and instructional practices called PLC meetings, and that stands for Professional Learning Community. These odd scheduled days used to be on Wednesdays, but now they're on Mondays. I actually like this a lot more since it's at the beginning of the week instead of right in the middle. Also, side note, yes, we still will also have those strange district late start schedules one Monday per month, but the sectional Monday change I'm about to explain sort of negates the need to specifically differentiate between regular Mondays and district late start Mondays now. So here it is. Monday mornings are now called sectional Mondays. Section members will meet with their leadership captain, or drum major, or instructional staff member, or me for at least an hour in the time frame between 6:30 a.m. and 8:45 a.m. to work on specific items, such as tuning, tone, music chunks, drill sets, basic marching techniques, and so on. Side note again, this time frame will actually be even larger on those district late start Mondays. Sectional Mondays are essentially there for the section to work on whatever is needed or decided by the leadership, instructional staff, or director. I should be there for the entire block of time on those Monday mornings because of my aforementioned PLC meetings. If I'm ever off campus, though, for one of those PLC meetings, leadership and sections can still work on marching items outside the room. The cool part about this flexible time frame on Mondays is that leadership and section members can determine the best time that works for them. If you want to keep it consistent at 6:30 a.m. because that's when your rides all line up, keep it at 6:30. If you want to sleep in a bit and do it from 7:45 to 8:45, that's fine too. Or obviously any time in between works as well. However, you do need to be present for 1 hour for attendance on those mornings, or it will be counted as an unexcused absence, which may affect your ability to perform later in the week. So, make sure that you're there. Leadership may also elect to go longer than an hour if the instructional staff or I suggest the time is needed. Yay, Saturday car washes! These are a major fundraiser for our program to pay for things like custom show costs, instructor fees, emergency funds, and food and water for the competitions and camps. We also use these same weekends to do some prop construction for the show and uniform fittings. Please take a moment to pause the video to read through this slide. Varsity football games. These are our major exposure events that we have for the school to showcase our talents. Unfortunately, we do not travel to away games because of travel budget restrictions, but we are always present at the home games to pump up the crowd and show support for the team. The call time, also known as the report time, for students is usually 5 p.m. so we can get dressed into our uniforms, warm up, and be ready for the game to start at 7 p.m. The games usually end sometime between 9 and 9:30, and we head back to the room, put everything away, and dismiss around 10 p.m. Per the NHS administration, parents and guardians must be present by 10 p.m. to pick up your students. We do our best to have our students heading out to you by that time. If you're going to be substantially late, please let your student know to let me know so I can tell the administration on duty about it. Failure to do so may result in the administrator wanting to have a conversation with you when you pick up your student, and also me. So please try to be there as close to 10 p.m. as possible. All right, moving on to our annual fall break band camp. On the Wednesday through Friday of fall break, we have rehearsals at North High School similar to what we did over the summer, on a normal year at least, to finish up the show concept, refine music and drill, and so on. Now I need to date myself. Back in my day, we didn't have fall break to interrupt the marching season. We rehearsed for 37 hours a day with no water breaks, no shade, and no tenor drum stands. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Mostly. But unfortunately, this fall break hits right in the middle of the competitive season. So we really need to have this time to rehearse to stay on point for our last few competitive shows. If you have any conflicts with this, please let me know immediately. We are counting on every member to be present at these rehearsals to learn the last few elements of the show. Please do not disappear over fall break. It will definitely and negatively affect the group as a whole. This next slide just gives some information about the different competitive circuits in Arizona. We are competing in the Abota circuit again this year because that seems to be the circuit that our students enjoy the most. Please pause the video if you want to read the details about each organization and how they respectively score the bands. Here is our tentative, competitive, and parade schedule. Please pause the video to review the schedule and the no pass, no play policy that marching band also needs to abide by. Additionally, I'm sure there will be extra protocols in place for attending these events, and we may or may not stay for the duration of the entire event into the awards ceremony depending on our own district protocols. I will share as much information as I have as each event approaches, but please try to be as flexible as possible on these dates as info and timelines may change at a moment's notice. And now on to the Mustang Marching Band dues and fees. I wish we could offer this program free of charge to all students, but unfortunately, it does cost money to complete the marching season. I've broken down the payments between August and September, so it's not a huge financial hit in 1 month. But if these payments are still a bit much for you and your family, please let me know so I can work with you on the payments. The August payment covers gloves for the woodwinds, brass, pit, and guard sections, wristbands for the battery and the pit, and marching shoes and t-shirts for everyone. This is an expense that all new members must pay. If a veteran member already has these items and they're still in good shape, you do not need to purchase them again. However, if you need replacements or if you've grown out of your shoes, for example, please order them at this time. The September payment covers the mandatory class fee and dry cleaning / equipment charge. Everyone, both new and veteran members, must pay this to make the season functional. If you'd like to pay for everything up front, that is also totally fine. All payments go to the bookstore under the Band Club account. Just mention what you're paying for from this list and that it goes under the Band Club account. Then bring the receipt back to me in the band room so I know that you've paid for it. Please take a moment to pause the video and read about tax credit. Our 2021 Band Council and Leadership Team allocations have all been postponed until the beginning of the 2021-2022 school year. We normally complete this process in the middle of April to assist with clinic nights, summer sectionals, etc. Again, with the state of things, we can't guarantee that all veteran members have access to the resources needed to apply for these positions. So in the interest of equity for all students, we are delaying these until the start of the 2021-2022 school year. All former leadership members will need to reapply for their positions just like everyone else. The leadership application will be available online. Again, the link will be in the description. And I highly encourage any interested students to review these requisites and start working on it sooner rather than later. Please do not wait until the day before it's due. Your answers will not be fully developed and thought out, and may result in you not achieving the leadership position of your choice. If you have any questions, please email deaton@phoenixunion.org. Anticipated staff for the 2021 season. Before we get into that, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Daniel B. Eaton, Director of Bands and Orchestra at North High School. I have extensive marching experience, both performing and teaching in multiple performance groups such as Abota, AZMBA, WGI, WGAZ, AZPAS, and the ASU SDMB, Phenom Sound Sport, and the Academy Drum and Bugle Corps. For the remaining tech positions, we are fortunate to have Mr. Alberto Marquez, former North grad and principal saxophonist from the North High School Symphonic Band. We also have Mr. Gerardo Silva, former North grad and battery captain. He has amazing WGAZ and WGI experience through Pinnacle Indoor Percussion. We are also fortunate to have Miss Dawn Morford return for her second year on the instructional staff. She has extensive experience with color guard through U of A and has teched for other high schools including Page, Coronado, and Westview. If any of these staffing positions fall through, I will continue my search for highly qualified candidates that will enhance the experience for our students. As you can imagine, COVID has definitely changed people's availability and willingness to volunteer for such large amounts of time. I can certainly understand that and hope that we can retain these aforementioned amazing individuals or find other talented people that have the time and means to bring their expertise into our already successful program. On the administrative side of things, we have our music arranger, Mr. Matthew Cornwell, returning for our woodwind and brass composition. I will again be providing the percussion composition. Finally, we have a new drilled arranger and visual design consultant, Miss Erica Scribner, Director of Bands at Carl Hayden High School. I'm really excited to work with our instructional staff again this year. The next few slides give some information about our Musical Arts Association, also known as the Band Booster and Band Parent Organization. Please pause the video to review this information on your own, and if you have any specific questions, please contact Heather Hollahan at HHULLIHEN10@gmail.com or me at deaton@phoenixunion.org. This slide gives specific information about the Booster Executive Officer positions. And this slide gives more information about the Associate Officer positions. If you're interested, please contact us for more information. And we have reached the conclusion of our video presentation. Normally we would open this up to questions, but obviously we can't do that. If you do have any questions, please email deaton@phoenixunion.org. I do not check the comment section of our videos, so please remember to direct those questions to the previously mentioned email address, deaton@phoenixunion.org. I want to thank everyone for sticking through this presentation to the end. I will provide a link in the description that is a downloadable PDF of the notes from this meeting presentation for your convenience in both English and Spanish. As always, if there's any questions, please email me and I will get back with you as soon as possible. In closing, I want to again wish everyone good health, good vibes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone again as soon as possible. I really miss the students and the wonderful process of making music every day. I'm sure you can relate to the odd, empty feeling of not making music with your friends, but hopefully the end of this strange COVID reality is drawing to an end, and we'll be back together again very soon. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you over the summer 2021. Have a great day, Mustangs.